Hi, I'm Ben, and this is another episode recap of Marvel's Spider-Man. Funny story. Apparently, I got a comment and someone said "speak louder." I was like, "Speak louder? What's wrong?" And turns out there's barely any sound. Apparently, when you have your headphones in your laptop, it doesn't respond to sound. So I don't know if that's the problem or what, but that's how it works. So here's my redo of my episode recap of Marvel Spider-Man. In this episode, Spider-Man begins swinging on the air, having a good time. Then he sees a news report of the Avengers, and we got to see Captain Marvel, Ms. Marvel, well, the Hulk, Captain America, and Iron Man. And I thought that was cool because we got to see Captain Marvel in the show, and I thought that was cool. It was like, and James Jonah Jameson, of course, is like, yeah, these are real heroes, not like that Spider-Man. And this random guy's like, hey, Spider-Man, move out of the way, or else or Spider-Menace, move out of the way, or else they'll get you, or else the Avengers will get you. It was like, hey, man. Then there's this laser blast, and then Spider-Man finds that there was a girl saying 237, like 237, 237, and shooting lasers, and discovers that, and then he tries to stop her. He stops her, and then he finds that there's a there's a card that shows that she's a student at the school. Then he goes in there, but not as Spider-Man, as Peter Parker's like, here, give this back to my cousin. He had to lie because, So he tries to sneak in, but He tries to sneak in, but yeah, that didn't. But it worked out all right. But I don't get why can't he just go into the school as Spider-Man, then turn into Peter Parker while he's in the school? I don't get that. But before he actually finds this kid being bullied by this Hallmod or something, I forget, and he's like, "I'm the school guy thing, and I just want to see my class get in." But he was being kind of a bully, hurting his game, and Peter was like, "Hey, leave him alone, man." And he's like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "I'm new here." And it's like, "I'll help you go in, uh, go in." And there's this kid, so he had to sneak into the school. Then he got to see other things, and then he finds out that there's that he finds the room 237, and it's not a locker combination, it's actually the room. And he can and later he has a stakeout finding what happens. But then we got to see Miss Marvel. Yeah, Miss Marvel's in this. Miss Marvel's in this. So yeah, that's cool. Miss Marvel, the Elastic Camila Khan, or I forget her name. It's Camila Khan or something. I don't know. Oh, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. But then he's like, I found Spider-Man, and and he talks to Iron Man. It's like, Iron Man, we know each other, says Peter. And then and then they're like, good, you can team up and do this and figure out what's going on. And it's like, okay. And Miss Marvel's like, what? I don't want to team up, man. But she, but then, but yeah. I thought because since Miss Marvel's such a fangirl, I thought he would be more nicer to Spider-Man. It's like, oh my gosh, Spider-Man, but nope. So then they sneak in. They find the room 237. So and they sneak in and they discovered it's A.I.M. Yeah, the angry beekeeper guys. So then A.I.M finds out that sorry. So then AIM, so then they're finding out that they're turning school students into superpower and giving them superpowers. And then, but then they escape. And there's this really cute scene where they had to disguise as their people clothes and their superhero alter ego. So then there's this cute scene where Ms. Marvel puts her head on Peter, and it just looks really cute, and that makes me kind of ship them. Um, and and so then at the end later, so then like So then later, they try to go back in. They borrow the teenage boy who's been helping Peter get into the school and uses his card and sneaks in and the boy doesn't know that A.I.M's evil and he thought the Avengers volunteered and yeah, they kidnapped the Avengers and used them as science experiments. They used Hulk, Captain America, and Captain Marvel. So then they try to escape. So then they try to sneak in and try to steal the and try to help Spider and try to help them. Then Ms. Marvel and Spider-Man team up and they're like, if we go down, it was nice help teaming up with you. Same to here, and that was cute. So they stop the bad guys, they save the Avengers, they realize that the teenage boy realized that the, they're evil and apparently the head teacher is like this evil scientist girl and woman and then they save the day, they stop the bad guy, and that's it apparently. Um, but at the end, they tried to take a picture because Ms. Marvel likes to do that, and it's like, oh, let's get a picture, and then the teenage boy photobombs, and there's like, think, and then it ends up on the newspaper, but he's like, hey, thanks for helping us for a minute, you're really good, and check today's newspaper, you can see how's it going, and then she looks at the news, and then he looks at the newspaper, and you only see a clip half of it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, that's the episode. It was pretty good, and it was really epic, and it was cool to see Miss Marvel and Spider-Man team up, and it was a lot of fun, and I really liked that episode. I hope you liked that episode, and I hope you enjoy it, even though the show isn't doing so well. So, oh, you probably might see some new videos. I might later review Ant-Man and the Wasp sooner.